Hello, I'm Matthew Knott, news editor of StudyTravel magazine, and this is editorial assistant Clarissa Waldron. Welcome to the StudyTravel news broadcast on the 6th of April 2017, bringing you a roundup of the latest international education news. The headlines this week.
11% increase in ELT students for Ireland in 2016.
Stafford House launches North America Pathways.
UED survey shows Turkish study abroad trends.
The 65-member ELT schools of Association Marketing English in Ireland increased international student numbers by 11% to 119,000 students in 2016, driven by large growth in the junior EU market, according to figures released by the association.
Young learners from the EU represented half of all students in MEI schools in 2016, an increase by 32% compared with the previous year.
In the adult segment, there was an overall decrease of 1% in student numbers. Slight growth from the EU and non-EU no visa required cohort, which includes countries such as Brazil and Japan, was outweighed by a 19% drop from the non-EU visa required group, which includes Russia, China and Saudi Arabia. Accordingly, the average stay dropped to 5.3 weeks compared to 6.1 weeks in 2015.
Italy remained the largest individual source country with 44,000 students, 37% of the total, and recorded a 25% increase last year.
Speaking to StudyTravel magazine, David O'Grady, Chief Executive Officer of MEI, cautioned that there was some danger for Ireland in the 2016 figures, as the growth came from the EU junior market, which would be vulnerable to returning to the UK following the post-Brexit weakening of the pound.
However, David said 2016 was a record year for the nationality mix in Ireland, with students coming from 101 countries compared with the previous year's record of 89. He added that Argentina, Colombia and Chile had been particular growth markets over the last 3 years.
Global English language brand Stafford House International, part of Cambridge Education Group or CEG, has announced its entry into the North America university preparation sector with more than 60 university partners.
In a statement, the school said the new Stafford House University Pathways were a collection of services, courses and activities aimed at assisting international students in gaining acceptance at higher education institutions in the USA and Canada.
The new product allows international students to enter Stafford House with a conditional acceptance letter from one of the partner universities, or to choose a university degree after beginning studies with the assistance of the Pathways team. Most of the partner institutions are offering conditional admission and IELTS TOEFL waivers.
As well as undergraduate and postgraduate programs, Stafford House will also provide pathway courses to graduate certificates, which it said were gaining popularity. The school said the pathway product was being launched in all markets, but it predicted particularly strong interest from China, Taiwan, Brazil, Russia, the Middle East and Turkey.
Ireland and Canada were the fastest growing destinations for Turkish study abroad students last year in the language sector, according to the latest survey of 41 member agencies released by Turkish Agency Association UED.
UED President Erin Goker presented the survey results at the ST Alfie Istanbul conference last week, and also revealed that numbers choosing to study in the USA and Australia were decreasing.
Agents reported that the UK was the most requested language destination for Turkish students, attracting 40% of students, while the next most popular countries were Ireland and Canada, accounting for 13% and 12% of students respectively. In UED's previous 2015 survey, Ireland commanded only 4% market share, while Canada had 8%.
Gökhan Islamoglu, coordinator at UED, said the economic factors were significant, but concerns about visas for the USA and the election of Donald Trump as president were also driving students towards Canada.
Now a roundup of the other StudyTravel news stories this week. The Netherlands experienced a record rise in full degree international higher education students in the 2016-17 academic year, reaching a new peak of 81,000 students, according to figures released by promotional organisation EP Nuffic.
Spain's Language School Association, Fidele Español en España, has signed an agreement with Ciela, Spanish Exam, a partnership that means Fidele will promote the exam and facilitates member schools becoming test centres. Ciela was launched in 2015 as a computer-based test supported by Instituto Cervantes.
Under a new partnership, Malaysian students can undertake a foundation programme at KYS International College before progressing to an undergraduate degree at a university in New Zealand. Global
Language School Association, EALC, has released preliminary findings of a survey of 5,000 current and former students showing booking channels, fulfilment of expectations and satisfaction levels. The full results will be released in late April.
International education provider Navitas has announced an 8% increase in enrolment in its University Partnerships division for the first semester of 2017. For more information on these and other StudyTravel magazine news stories, please visit www.studytravel.network.
Until next week, goodbye from all of us here at STTV.
Goodbye.